Hi, my first video, I thought that I would talk about something that it's been like a curious question all throughout. Before that, actually, let me just do an intro. So, I am Sanya, and hi, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. So, I have been posting out here, but I've never really done a video in the traditional video format or long form format as is the practice on YouTube. Anyways, and for my first video, I thought that I would talk about something that I've kind of really talked a lot to a lot of people, and it's been like a curious question all throughout these years of my working. And before that, actually, let me just do an intro. So I am Sanya, and I work in the big tech space, wherein I work as a content strategist and a UX writer. And my previous background is that of a teacher. So I worked in the early childhood space, and yeah, that's pretty much what my work experience has been like. And today I'm going to talk to you about my teaching experience and how I got into teaching in the first place, and what my experience was teaching in New Zealand. So, right, the first part is, of course, getting yourself in the teaching profession. And generally, the practice over there is that you have to go through education. So, you need to kind of choose a program where you get probably a teacher's registration, and it needs to be under a certain threshold. So for example, you can't do a level 8 degree in New Zealand and expect yourself to get registered of the program. You need to do a particular level, and in my case I found that it was level 7, which is a graduate diploma or a bachelor's. So since I already had a bachelor's from India, I went ahead and did a graduate diploma level 7 from the University of Canterbury. And yeah, pretty much after my degree got over, which included a lot of placements and things like that, I basically went ahead and applied for my provisional teacher's registration. And once you get your provisional teacher's registration, you can basically start practicing in schools as a registered teacher, which is very important. Like every other teacher in school, if they want to like get paid a certain salary, you need to make sure that you are registered. Otherwise, you are counted as somebody who is unqualified and you're not really paid well. Teaching salaries. Now, teaching salaries is basically, if I tell you, it's not something that I think I kind of felt great about when I started out. So this is sometime back in 2018-19 actually, is when I got my first official job as a teacher. So when you look at the teaching salaries, they're not very great. At least at that point of time, it was not very great. And I actually aimed for an organization where they did have a better than average salary for early childhood educators. So my starting salary was around 23 point something. So I basically had a great starting salary in comparison to a lot of people who graduated with me in the same batch. And yeah, I think once I got that job, it kind of set stage for me to negotiate in my future jobs and kind of prove my potential. Of course, like you can't really get a high salary or negotiate for a high salary until you're putting in the hard work. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it. And especially having a registration can make a whole lot of difference in your teaching salary. And it's very, very important that you basically make sure that what is the average salary in a particular market, because even from region to region, location to location, salaries differ. Sometimes in a location like Christchurch, you might not get as high salaries like you do in Auckland. Like I've heard teachers getting something around 36, 37, whereas in Christchurch you might kind of only get something around 32. So it's basically location, company, and of course your own skills of negotiating wherever you are going to interview. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And also right now, most schools in New Zealand have opted in for the pay parity scheme, because of which there's of course a standardized way that salaries progress. So that might also, look different when you are going to a school, and if they've opted in for the pay parity, what they offer might differ, because it's dependent on a scale of things, and there where you fall on that scale, based on that understanding, you are offered a salary. Right, so now let's move to the next thing. Let's talk about registration. So once you graduate and you get that provisional registration that I talked about, that's not it. It doesn't end there. You basically have to go and apply for your full registration as a teacher, so fully qualified registration. And basically you can apply for this registration like ideally 2 years after your teaching experience. So once you've had like a 2-year teaching experience, you can go ahead and apply for your full registration. But there's a huge amount of hard work you need to put in, and there's obviously a mentor or an associate teacher, basically a mentor who signs you off at your place of work, looks at all your paperwork and all the hard work that you've put in, and then they kind of sign you off that, yeah, okay, great, I think you're fit for a fully qualified teacher status. So that's pretty much what happens. You apply for the registration and then you get the card, and after that it's pretty much like it's like a open space for you. You can basically go anywhere. There's no restriction as to where can you work and what salary can you get. I mean, experience matters, but once you have like a fully qualified teacher status, it's very, very easier in life to kind of survive and not survive is not the right word actually, to kind of make through your career changes and transitions, and of course progress in your career. One last important thing I'll kind of say is that once you've got a full teacher salary and you've negotiated a good position, what really matters in any school, according to me, is definitely 100% the kind of working conditions you are in. So a working condition that is good can really make you shine and go places. A working condition that is not good, even with a high salary, you are not going to go anywhere. You're probably going to feel stagnant all along. So yeah, I think that is it for my first video. I've tried to keep it short and try to kind of pull in all the information, relevant information in this video, and hopefully in the upcoming YouTube videos I'll be able to talk a little bit more about things with regard to teaching. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching the video. Bye.